Well, hello, school life family. Welcome. We got something new for you today. If you do not know who I am, my name is Ross Braun, and I'm the VP of Positive Education here at School Life. And today we've got a really special guest that we want to connect you with. Because Dr. Ryan Eckart is not only an incredible principal, an awesome dad, and a human being, but he is a great customer of ours. He is one that has really moved the needle, not only for his school, but for other schools across the country. And so today we just want to bring you a short interview with Ryan and allow him to share what he's done at his school, the incredible results that he's gotten thanks to the help of school life. And so Ryan, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and talk about great things that are going on.
Appreciate it. So why don't you just take a minute and introduce yourself and tell us where you're from, what you do, the school that you serve at, a little bit of demographics, that type of thing.
Sure. I'm the principal of a pre-K 5 elementary school in Crown Point, Indiana. We're about an hour southeast of Chicago. And we have about 100 kids per grade and about 30% free and reduced lunch rate. We just redistricted 2 years ago. So, like, the whole makeup of our school was shifted and changed because of overcrowding at some of the schools in the district. We have 7 elementary schools, so kind of started fresh 2 years ago. Got to know a lot of new families and kids, and it's been really good. But one of our struggles was attendance, so I'm excited to be here to kind of talk about that today.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into all things attendance here. And so my first question for you is, what does showing up mean to you? Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, for you, your staff, and your students.
Yeah, so that's like the core of everything, right? So, like,
Okay.
we want to have a positive place for kids to be and staff to be, and we want kids and staff members, for that matter, to want to be here and be excited to be here. And when they walk in the doors, we want them to be excited to see other people and connect with other people. And if kids aren't being part of that, then they're missing out on those relationships. But then, of course, the academics that come with it and everything else that is school. But we want to build a place that's fun and exciting to be at. And we have all kinds of things that go on here that are fun and exciting. But more than anything, like, we want them to show up and be excited to show up.
Yeah.
Want to always talk about ways to help and encourage kids and families to understand why that's important.
Yeah, a great answer. And Brian and I have known each other for many years now, before we were both losing hair and going gray and that type of thing. But we were one and the same in the fact that we want to build something where I always say students have get to come to instead of have to be at, and that's truly what showing up is, and providing a space where students and staff feel safe, valued, and heard. Right, and I think that's so important. And so you mentioned, a minute ago that you said you wanted to put an emphasis on attendance this past school year. And why? Why did you say we're going to really make this a focus?
Yeah, so this I just finished my second year in this district and at this building, and one of the data points we looked at after the first year was attendance and just what's going on with attendance. Is it good? Is it bad? What's going on? And I was blown away with the lists of pages of kids' names that were missing days of school. And to me, that's really heartbreaking because we've got great teachers and got great things going on in classrooms. And if kids aren't here, they're missing out on all those things, not only the academics, but building those relationships. And so we want to kind of like take a deep dive into it and see what kids are missing, how much are they missing, are there trends, and what can we do about it to help improve their attendance so that they're not missing out on all those great things that are happening
Yeah, that's great. And that's one thing I think I've learned from you through all this is obviously attendance is a nationwide concern, crisis. I mean, it's a problem for sure. We hear that at school life, at school saying, "Help! What we can do?" And that's why we've created some of these solutions is for those reasons. But a lot of times, it's easy as a school leader just to kind of say, "It's a problem. It's everywhere. It's not just us." But you said, "No, we're going to do something about it. We're going to stop making excuses and let's do this." Right? And so, not only did you really dive like heavy into the data, but you also just simplified attendance and said, "Look, we just got to get kids here. And once we get kids here, then the magic can happen. And so that's what I want to get into now is just, what are some of these school-wide strategies that you implemented to improve attendance? Obviously, we're talking school life. So what did you purchase from school life that really helped you create this whole solution for your school?
Yeah. So I think one of the things to just put out there too is like it's elementary school. So no kid is really in charge of getting themselves here because adults are in charge of either making sure they get to the bus stop or driving them to school or any of that type of thing. So there's multiple things we could be tackling. And I feel like the thing that can get you the quickest fix is getting kids excited about being at school. There's all kinds of things that go on in our families' homes outside of school that get in the way of getting them to school either on time or at all. Some of those things we can help with and some of those things we can't help with. And so we figured first we would just tackle like, let's talk to kids about being here and give them some incentives to being here. And we saw like they blew us away because they're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I want to be part of that. And like, our conversations with parents were extremely minimal because of the impact our conversations with kids were having. So we started by at the beginning of the year, we always have a monthly PBIS assembly every month throughout the school year and do different things at that. But when we had all of the kids in front of us, we talked to them about how important it is to be at school and all the fun things they're going to get to do when they're at school. And they got a dog tag that's customized to our school that says, "You're a part of Timothy Ball." And they got to put it on the backpack. They were excited about that, just like to start off. And then we kind of built from there and started each week. We monitor our school attendance, and then we had a contest that we explained to kids where every week we're going to announce which class in each grade has the best attendance. And they got super excited about that. They just want to hear
Yeah.
their class called on the intercom. Teachers got a little bit competitive with it.
Yeah.
And they have bragging rights, but we'd announce of the 4 classes in each grade, which class had the best attendance every week. And then on a weekly basis, any class that had 95% attendance rate also got a banner that they hung outside of their classroom that, again, we had customized for our school, but it says attendance matters. And again, bragging rights for every classroom. So you may not have been the top in your grade, but if you were above 95%, you got that banner to hang outside your classroom, which kids and probably more teachers were
Yeah.
excited about because it reminded everybody when you walk by those classrooms, like, this class has amazing attendance.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And so you used our vinyl attendance wall. So it's 4 foot tall, 10 foot wide. And when those weekly classes reached, were the top in their grade level, correct?
Yeah.
Or no, it was overall.
Yeah. The attendance while we did overall top 7
Overall,
classes in the
yeah. Okay.
whole school. So like I shared with the staff at the end of the year, like it kind of blew me away. Like 5th grade, I assumed would have the worst attendance throughout the
Yeah.
school year because it's 5th grade. Like they're leaving here at the end of the year. Like they're older.
Too cool for school.
They're too cool for school. They know more
Yeah.
excuses than the 5-year-old kindergartners do. But our 5th grade classes had amazing attendance every
Okay.
single week. And they were, most of the time, our 5th grade classes were 97% and higher. And we had 27 to 29 kids in our 5th grade classes. But lots of times they may not be the top in their grade, but they're the top 7 in the school. So on our leaderboard in the hallway outside the cafeteria, so everybody can see, we always, every week, put the top 7 classes
Okay.
names on there so they could see who is in the top 7. And oftentimes when you're changing it and the kids are walking by in the morning and they're
Like,
like, "Oh, I'm still on there," or "Where's our name? We
yeah.
were number 2 last week. We're not on there anymore." So like they definitely were talking about it a lot, which is more than anything that we want.
Yeah, that's cool. And from a school life standpoint, this is what I love about that attendance wall is you're the first person that I've seen do individual classes. Most schools will do grade levels, 1st through 7, so everybody's on there at some point. But you said no, we're gonna take it up a notch, and you might not see your name on the board. You've got to hit the mark, right? Other schools will do it, so many different ways. So we've intentionally designed that attendance wall to have the flexibility for what works with your school and
Sure. Yeah. And
for
our
you.
and our goal for the school year is for us to have 95% attendance rate.
Yeah.
So then on a monthly basis, we printed reports every month at the end of every month and looked at every single kid individually. And if they had 95% attendance or higher, then they got a dog tag specific to that month and to add to their keychain. And we opted to do like the short little keychains that they add onto their backpack.
Yes.
I was kind of worried that if we did the one around their neck, they're going to end up losing it, or who knows where it's going to end up. Where if they put it on their backpack, it's always going to be on their backpack for the
Yeah.
most part. And they were so excited to put them on their backpack. And I'd always preface with kids, lots of times I handed out the tags at lunch, so it's in front of the whole grade. And we did class by class, kid by kid. And before I hand them out, I always said, like, we're going to do this next month too, and the month after. So if you don't get a tag this month, it's okay. People get sick. You miss days,
Yeah.
but we really want you here 95% of the time, which in our school, because of our days, means you miss 0 or 1 days of school. If you miss 2 or more, then you're not going to get a tag.
Right.
But kids were super excited about it. And we had several kids who had chronic attendance issues the prior year and would have never gotten a tag if we were doing the same system. And this year, maybe they missed the first 1 or 2, but then after that, they got almost every single one, which was exciting to see.
Yeah, so cool. So a couple things, follow up with that is our brag tags are so simple, inexpensive, but kids get so excited about it. And what I like, you said you did the ones that go in the backpack, with the cable rings or the small chains. And I loved as a principal, not only did they wear them with pride on their backpacks, but what goes home every night? The backpack. And it was a conversation starter, hey, Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, check out what I got today because I've been showing up for school, or whatever you want to use the brag tags for. That starts that conversation at home instead of just the typical, what'd you do at school today? Nothing, right? Well, you didn't do nothing for 7 straight hours, but it gave them something tangible that they could really show and show off with pride, which was so cool. So, yeah, you've obviously created a system that works for your school using these products. We have them as bundles now on our website, so you can go on and bundle them all together. I think that's what we're doing this year for you. We're excited.
Yes, we are.
Our Houston facility has been working hard to put that all together for you, which is super exciting. So Ryan, I don't want to take too much of your time, but let's get into the results. All right. So this, you've shared just some of the simple strategies that you utilized. Like I said, it wasn't rocket science. It wasn't something that took you a ton of time. Did you delegate any of this work?
A little bit.
A little bit? Yeah.
I probably could delegate a little bit more, but again, it didn't. It was just a matter of setting up spreadsheets the way we wanted them, and then each month you go through that same process of running those reports and identifying kids. So once we did it the first couple times, it was pretty fast every other time. I do have to say that a couple times when there was a lot going on at school and we may not have gotten to the tags like until like a month into the new, or not a month, a week into the new month, kids definitely called us out and said,
Yeah.
hey, when are you passing out the April tags? And there were some, another thing to share real quick is obviously the younger kids love them. You never know with 4th and 5th graders how much they're going to love stuff like that or buy into it. But there were a couple of 5th graders who multiple times lost their tag. And when I see them at lunch daily, they're like, I lost my April tag. Is there any way I can get a new one? And like, they would ask me every single day until I remembered to get them one. So like, they
Big deal.
definitely bought into it and were proud of showing off the tags that they had as well.
Yeah.
But to beginning of the year, we had a year ago at the end of the year, our attendance rate was 93.2%, which doesn't seem terrible. But again, we want our goal. Our goal is 95.
You have
We
high
want to be
standards. Yeah.
at 95 or higher every year. So by implementing this new incentive system, we went from 93.2 to 94.8, like this close to meeting that 95 percentage, but really good. But something that we're even more proud of is we had 20% of our kids were chronically absent, which means they missed 10 or more days during the school year. We reduced that from 20% to 9% throughout this past school year. And then the other huge number that it was really hard to look at the beginning is we had 37% of kids with no attendance issues.
Yeah.
37% with no issues. That's a really hard number to swallow. But we increased that from 37% to 55%. So over half of the kids now have no attendance
No
issues,
attendance issues.
which we look to continually increase. And that was a huge jump this year, but we hope to have another huge jump next year as we move into the year 2 of implementing the incentive
Yep.
program, and kids buy into it even more and have more time to learn about it.
Yeah, exactly. We're stepping that up a little bit with you this year. Um, I know it is amazing because I think for schools so many times we just look at that top rate. You know, 93, 94. We want to be 95, but the other 2 points that you shared are huge. And not only did you just see more kids coming to school, less kids being chronically absent. What did you also see with some of your academics? I know you shared
Yeah,
those with.
gains, obviously, like if they're in school, then they're going to be learning, and academics are going to soar. We keep track of K2, not only proficiencies that they meet, but growth that they meet. And on an average, kids went up 12% on ELA and math for growth, which is huge. And then meeting proficiency in grades 3 through 5, students went up an average of 10 percentage points. One grade, fourth grade, is one like a cohort that like we struggle with because like attendance isn't great, academics
Yeah.
aren't great. They went up 19 percentage points on ELA this year. So like if we get them here, we're doing great things, but we got
Yes.
to get them here first. So this is
Yep.
definitely helpful.
Yeah. And I think your teachers appreciate it as well. It's something we don't talk about enough is our teachers are putting so much time and effort and energy into great lesson plans, into making learning fun and engaging for our students. And it's disheartening, discouraging when you create this awesome lesson and you got 7 kids absent that day. Well,
Yep.
you can't recreate that lesson tomorrow hoping that they're here. They missed it. And so when they're there, I think it just only improves school culture for staff and for your teachers as well. So Ryan, we've already gone over our time that I told you I would take for this. And so we're going to wrap things up. But is there anything else that you want to share to the school life family when in regards to attendance, regards to school life in general? Last minute, what do you got?
Yeah, so I just want to say that the products that we chose to get for our school were great. I love how that we can customize stuff for our school. So we have banners in the hallway that say like "We're glad you showed up," and it's like all of our school logo and colors and everything like that. And just the way that you guys have been responsive for like what we're looking for has been extremely helpful. I was freaking out at the beginning because I didn't think we were going to have enough dog tags, and the last thing
Yeah.
you want is to pass them out and you're short. So like super responsive to all those types of things, but just love the different options that we have and looking forward to continuing helping kids want to be at school.
Yeah. It's that simple, really. And that's what we try to make it affordable and simple for you, the school leader, but for kids and everybody that's implementing these things. And so I appreciate those words, Ryan. I know everyone at School Life really appreciates that. Like we pride ourselves in being your partner in positivity and whatever that means. And for you, obviously, you shared with it, but for everybody that's a little bit different, and we want to make sure that we meet those needs for everyone that we work with. So thank you again, my friend. Where I'm going to share some of your proofs, if that's okay with you, as far as your banners and your tags and everything you've used, just so people can kind of see a visual of everything we've talked about today. Looking forward to continuing working with you. I love working with you, and I think more people need to hear your voice and what you can bring to schools. So
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Cool. Thank you, Ryan. And thank you to all of our School Life customers, everybody in the School Life family. If there's anything that you need, reach out to me, Ross at schoollife.com, or any of us. You can, on the website, if you click on the chat, call the toll free number. Guess what? You're going to speak to someone who is passionate and who cares about you and your school. And we're going to work with you to find the right solution. At School Life, we are proud to be your partner in positivity. Like I shared in the interview, let's take a look at some of the products and solutions that Ryan used at his school. First up, we have the attendance wall. This 4 foot tall by 10 foot wide giant vinyl is fully customized with your school and it creates a friendly competition when it comes to attendance. Next, we have our welcome back banner and brag tag. These are great products that show all of your students and your staff that they belong to your school community on the first day of school. Additionally, here are a few of the attendance incentives that Ryan has used for success at his school. Like we talked about in the interview, there's the Attendance Matters Championship door banner. You also have plaques, trophies, and those monthly brag tags that Ryan has used. So, you're ready to get serious about attendance. It's time for you to choose the right attendance solution. We have attendance solutions that range from level 1, 2, 3 to 4, and it's totally up to you depending on what you're wanting to spend and what you need for your school. So head to schoollife.com to choose the right attendance solution for you.